Hey traders, it's Samantha LaDuc, founder of LaDucTrading.com. I wanted to let you know about a feature that we just put out recently called Trade of the Week. And it is actually a feature that we have for clients where myself and three others on my trading desk weigh in on one particular stock for the week and size it up based on time frame and our own perspective using our own technical or fundamental or macro analysis, what have you, and then size up an options trade to back up the time frame and our directional bias. You can find these trades of the week under my Substack, Macro to Micro by Samantha LaDuc. It is www.samanthaladuc.com, and you will find market thoughts, videos, trade of the week, etc. So let's just kind of go over this because this is kind of a unique one versus some of the other ones that we have had, but all of them have been very, very successful. So the very first one that we put out publicly facing, these were prior client only analyses, was snow on Monday, January 22nd. It is doing extremely well. Then we put out Disney, which was pre-earnings. I was very bullish, and all four of us agreed it was very bullish, and it rocked. It basically exceeded expectations into earnings and then through earnings, and it's continuing to hold in there. Then the week after, we had MDB. MDB is kind of not an easy one to trade options, but we also were directionally bullish and also correct. That was a very, very nice kind of review of why. And then last week, we had Nvidia. And this was one that was very sensitive to the market. There are many bulls and crowding and such. I was basically taking the position that it was a short into earnings. So this was the 12th last week. And literally, we had to hit a monthly fib level on a very, very big picture time frame. And I figured it would digest about there. And then I basically estimated that this thing would stop going up, at least fall into 666 for earnings. And wouldn't you know, it tagged exactly that today, which happens to be February 21st. So 10 days later. So that worked out really, really well. Again, I had highlighted what that trade was in our client trade of the week. Now we have a look at what it looks like in this moving forward week. And it's not a chase. It's not even a swing as far as I'm concerned. It's McDonald's, and I consider this a trend trade. So Archana had actually picked this. She's our advanced options contributor, and she works tirelessly for clients, helping them position using advanced options. And she's very active herself. Her time frame is typically on the chase to shorter swing duration. Anyway, she had picked McDonald's and said that she had particular style of a call diagonal. She's very successful with these. She just did Toll Builders, which had earnings this morning. So she was very successful with that as well. She posts all of her trades. All of our analysis and trades are posted for clients in their club Slack client workspace. But needless to say, she was excited about McDonald's on a short duration using some March option strikes. I looked at this very differently. So even though the ladies were definitely on the shorter duration and very likely correct, no question about it, Rithika as well with her Elliott wave analysis, and Tiffany with her gamma, again, swing and chase timeframes, I was kind of the odd man out. I liked this on a trend time frame. So let me just kind of talk through why I am bullish McDonald's on a trend time frame. It's not a momentum play for me, although I completely can see how the ladies can see this moving higher in the short term. This is, for me, McDonald's is a boring but profitable trend long play that gets defended whenever the market corrects. So let me show you what I mean by that. This happens to be a chart on the monthly time frame. Very few actually look on the monthly. I mean, the obsession with zero DTE means you're looking at a 1 or 5 minute chart, not my style. I really like hourly, day, weekly. And then for a big trend trade, I always look monthly. So you can kind of see this 45 degrees, up and to the right. It definitely has gotten defended even during some really bad earnings and or stock market corrections, whether it be COVID, whether it be the 2022 drawdown of SPY 20%. this thing has just continued to get defended. So that's one of the reasons I really like it. Plus this bullish Morningstar reversal on the monthly time frame, and now it's consolidating. So long story short, technically like it on a trend time frame, but there are some other reasons I like it as well. So McDonald's also acts as a rotation into value play when growth starts to weaken. And it's not also just a play on the consumer. Obviously, it's a restaurant in the consumer cyclical space, but it's also a solid REIT. What do I mean by that? Real estate investment trust. These are typically standalone stocks that you can trade. They're typically, very, very, very slow because they're dealing with the real estate market, commercial, industrial, residential, what have you. So McDonald's actually could be split into two companies, given all the real estate it owns. It's not just a play on the consumer and a well-run business. Research suggests, via Yahoo Finance, that McDonald's owns about 45% of the land and 70% of the buildings at their 36,000 plus locations. This was taken, by the way, from January of 2022. This data is not that old. Which means McDonald's is really in the business of serving as landlord for its franchisees. So now you kind of understand from a fundamental standpoint, it's bigger than just hamburgers. And from a macro standpoint, if we're in an inflationary backdrop like we have been post-COVID lockdown, real estate prices have shot higher, then this is a very good, sustainable reason for McDonald's to do well as long as real estate does well. So I'm more of an inflationista, so I support that macro view, hence it's a trend. So on the consumer side, business is fine, but it's not, gangbusters. McDonald's CEO offered a post-earnings comment last week, which was February 17th, by the way, and today is the 21st, as a reminder. And he said, with expectations of moderating sales growth and ongoing inflationary headwinds, we expect our company operated margin will remain under pressure in the near term. So that doesn't scare me because, again, I'm aware that this particular play of McDonald's can serve as consumer, cyclical, REIT, value, very, very nice rotation during corrections. It goes down less fast, let's say, than some of the high-tech flyers. And also, big picture, I also know that over time, McDonald's outperforms. Look at this, over S&P. If you look at this annualized, it is since January 1993, it is literally up 10%, right? Annualized. McDonald's is up almost 16% annualized, a much better risk reward. So for all those reasons, I like McDonald's trend long, and this is my play. It looks ready to push, as I mentioned, above that kind of 296, 300 area. I'm more interested in what happens above 300. So with that, as a kind of set it and forget it, boring but profitable trend trade, I like the January leaps. I think the financed call spread looks really decent. And that means selling, again, the January 2025, 280 puts, which is right down in this neck of the woods. You can go deeper at, 265, 270. But the point is, I like that 300 by 325 call spread, and the financing by selling these puts means that costs nothing, literally like 10 cents, a nickel, depending on your bid ask. So the point is, it's extremely financially very viable. And then if you know advanced options, you know that you do have to defend. You can, if you see this 280 starting to look a little wobbly, then obviously you can buy some additional puts, and vice versa. If it's really taking off, you can chase it with some calls. But the point is, this particular structure allows for theta decay to work with the option. And I like that very much too, because McDonald's does not move like Jagger. It just does not move quickly. So I happen to agree with the ladies that it's very likely to head up to 300. Once it pops above, it's looking very bullish into 305, 310. The question is time frame. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to slap on a finance call spread and just let this thing ride into blue sky, into year end. And that is the trade of the week.
Subscribe to LaDucTrading YouTube channel for more Substack videos and other content